Hey there and welcome. So today we're going to talk about something that drives pretty much all of us crazy. That moment when you're trying to get through to someone, but they just will not listen. It's like talking to a brick wall, right? We're going to dive into this puzzle and unpack a really cool psychological tool that honestly could completely change the way you communicate. So let me ask you this, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer. Have you ever tried to reason with a really stubborn person? Oh, you know the type. You tell them, hey, don't do that. And what happens? It's the very first thing they go and do. Or you say something is right, and suddenly they're on a mission to prove you wrong, even if it makes no sense. It's so frustrating, isn't it? And that right there, that's what we're calling the stubborn people puzzle. It's that feeling of hitting your head against a wall. Every single conversation just gets trapped in this loop of arguing, and you get absolutely nowhere. So, what's the solution? How do we solve this thing? But what if I told you there's another way? I mean, a secret move that could help you actually persuade them, get them to see where you're coming from, and do it all without a fight? Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it exists, and today we're going to break it all down. Okay, so this secret move, it's called reverse psychology. And I love this description from our source material. They call it a secret move, almost like a kind of psychological jujitsu. It's this super clever strategy that seems kind of simple, but it has this wild inverse effect. It gets someone to do exactly what you wanted all along. All right, so what is this thing really? At its core, reverse psychology is when you argue for the thing you don't want. I know, it sounds weird, but it's this art of thinking backward. You're essentially and very subtly guiding them to choose the thing you actually want, and the best part is, they have no idea you're doing it. And this is the secret sauce, right here, the absolute key. It's not about winning an argument or lecturing them. No, it's about making them feel like the decision was their own idea. See, we all have this deep-seated need to feel like we're in control, to have our own autonomy. So when you say, hey, you can't do that, for some people, that's not a warning, it's a challenge. And that's where the magic of this technique really lies. Okay, that's the theory. But how does this play out in a real conversation? To really get why this stuff is so powerful, we first have to look at why our usual approach, the direct argument, why it fails so spectacularly most of the time. All right, let's put these two side by side. On one hand, you've got the direct argument. You go in, you tell them they're wrong. And what happens? Instantly, this psychological wall just shoots up. Bam, they're in defensive mode. And behind that wall, it doesn't matter how smart or logical your point is, they're not hearing it. All they feel is you trying to control them. But with reverse psychology, that wall just melts away. It puts them in a relaxed state, a place where they can actually listen. So here's how you do it. It's a really simple 3-step dance. Step 1, agree with them first. Seriously, find just one thing in what they're saying that you can genuinely agree with. Something like, you know what? I see your point there. That's the critical opening move. Step 2, their mind relaxes. That simple act of agreeing just deflates all their defensiveness. And then step 3, you gently give your suggestion. Once they're calm, you slide your idea in there, but not as an order. Frame it as a suggestion, or even better, ask for their advice on it. Okay, so we've got the how-to down, but let's get into the why. Why does this actually work? It's really this fascinating game that's being played inside our heads, a game between our ego and our brain. Really, what this all comes down to is the ego. Think of it like a guard at the gate of their mind. The bigger someone's ego, the more aggressive that guard is. And reverse psychology is basically the secret password that lets you walk right past that guard without ever starting a fight. So let's peek inside the brain during an argument. When someone gets defensive, their emotional brain just goes into overdrive. It's like it hijacks the whole system. And when that emotional brain is screaming, the logical, rational part of the brain, it just goes quiet. It's basically asleep. There's no room for reason to get through. But now, watch what happens when you agree with them. That screaming, emotional brain, it starts to calm down. It gets quiet. And that allows the logical brain to finally wake up and come online. This is the magic moment. Suddenly, they're in a place where they can actually hear you, where they can consider a new idea. So the big takeaway is this: calm the emotions, and the logic will follow. Okay, so what does all this brain science mean for you in your actual life? Look, mastering this isn't about scoring points or winning arguments. It's way bigger than that. It's about totally transforming how you communicate and connect with people, whether we're talking about your family, your friends, or the people you work with. When you start practicing this, you're going to unlock like a new power level in your life. Seriously, just imagine fewer arguments, less conflict, building stronger, better relationships, and feeling so much more confident because you know how to persuade people effectively and respectfully. Those people you thought were totally unreachable, they're going to start listening to you, really listening. And that pretty much wraps us up. The big takeaway here is that you've got a brand new, powerful tool for your communication toolkit. So I want to leave you with a question. Think about it. That one person, that one frustrating, recurring argument you always seem to have, where are you going to try this technique first?